2024 literally flew by, and just like that, we're in a new year again. So I thought, this year I wanted to do a financial recap for 2024 as well as set my goals for 2025. But I also thought that maybe it would be fun to share it with you guys. So let's get to it. So I was thinking, the way I'm going to do this is that I'm going to start off with my income, and then I'm going to talk about my savings and then my spending / debt management. And then finally, I'll talk about investments. So let's start off with my income. Real quick, if any of you guys want to start investing in 2025, maybe this is your New Year's resolution, which is a really good one. But yeah, check out Mumu. This is a really good platform for any of you guys who want to invest in both Malaysian and US stocks and ETFs. I have been using them for quite a while, ever since last year, and I plan to continue using them in 2025. So yeah, if any of you guys are interested in signing up, use my link down in the description below and you'll get some nice sign-up rewards once you've deposited some money. Alright, back to the story. So my income last year was really good. It's actually my best year ever. So for those of you who don't know, this is my first full year not having a full-time job. So in a way, I am kind of self-employed, and my income comes mainly from two sources. One is content creation, like this YouTube video, and two is from my trading, which I'm currently attached to a firm trading futures. At the start of this year, I didn't have very high goals or anything like that. I was thinking to myself, if I could make, let's say, 50,000 ringgit, which is enough to cover my monthly costs, that would be amazing, first full year self-employed, and I make enough money to cover my costs. To me, that was the initial goal. But with a lot of luck, as well as the support from you guys, I managed to do quite okay. So I was thinking hard about whether I would do this. I was thinking, maybe don't do it, but I'm just gonna do it anyway. I'm gonna share my actual income from 2024. So just a note, everything that I share will be pre-tax income. So since I'm someone who doesn't have a paycheck, I don't have the PCB or monthly tax deductions, which means that I had to save up for income taxes by myself. I did it every single month throughout the year. Also, if you are from LHDN, then don't worry, I am declaring my income in 2025. Anyway, let's start out on the content side. So my revenue for last year was 144,000 ringgit. This is revenue. It doesn't deduct the cost yet because I haven't done the full calculations for it, but I don't expect my cost to be very high because this business is quite lean. There's not a lot of things I gotta pay for. The way I make money as a content creator, it comes from two main things. One is from sponsorship. So this is when brands reach out to me to make a video to promote their product, But the other way is by me promoting affiliate links. So for example, when I promoted Mumu, if any of you guys sign up, deposit money, that I do get a nice little commission or incentive from them as well. So yeah, like I said, thank you guys a lot for supporting the channel. So this was my main income for the first, I would say, 6 months or so of 2024, because at the time I was very new to my trading firm. Their trading strategy was really different and I wasn't doing amazingly well yet. So yeah, for the first 6 months of the year, most of my expenses, they were paid for by the income from my content creation side. But the second half of the year, which is pretty much, I would say, July or August onwards, has been really good for me trading wise. And so for the year, I closed at a profit of around 225,000 ringgit. This is after all the cost I have to pay, which is surprisingly high. One is I do have a profit split with my firm as well. So whatever money I make, I do have to give them their share. And then I also have, commissions, software fees, market data fees, all those stuff. If you guys are interested, I did do a video last year about my experience as a full-time trader. So yeah, if you guys want to watch that video, you can check it out here. So from these two things in 2024, I made a total of around 350 to 370,000 ringgit, which is of course very good. I'm really happy with it and would consider it a successful year. For my goals in 2025, on the income side, honestly, if I could just replicate this, in 2025, I would be happy enough. It is a huge number for me, and I do think I stretch myself quite a bit to achieve this. So yeah, if I could just hit the same level, that would be good enough. For my income goals in 2025, I'm going to be shooting for the stars. I'm going to achieve 1 million ringgit. Just kidding. Honestly, if I could just match the same level as 2024, I would be happy enough. So I know that the nature of my jobs is a bit unstable. We never know how much money we're going to make from month to month. And these are for both jobs I'm currently doing. And with trading, I could even lose money. So that's that. I know goals are meant to be difficult to achieve. They're meant to be an improvement from previously and stuff like that. But I don't want to get ahead of myself. Like I said, 2024 was just really good for me. I'm not sure whether I could do it again. Honestly speaking, if I could achieve on average of around 15,000 ringgit a month, I would be pretty happy with that in 2025. Now, moving on to the savings portion of my financial review from 2024. And again, it was a really good year for me, and it boils down to two main things. So the first one is, of course, the higher income that I managed to achieve. And, I would obviously be crazy if I spent all of that money that I made. But yeah, that's why I say that, income is probably the most important part about personal finance, especially when you're just starting out. So if you're someone who is, a fresh grad, you're just starting out with all these things, then definitely focus on your income, because that will help your savings a lot more. But what really made my savings rate high in 2024 is I didn't spend a single dollar of my trading profits, because it was in my brokerage account, or at least, the brokerage account that I have with the firm that I'm trading with. So yeah, I guess trading income is good in a way, because it's not like my profits flow straight into my bank account and I look at it, I want to spend it. All this money is still within our brokerage account, and I haven't withdrawn any of it. So yeah, there's no temptation to spend. I don't feel like I have a lot of money. It's like a video game. I'm just seeing this number go up in my trading account, in my statements that I receive every day. So throughout the year, especially at the start, I was supporting myself through my savings I had before I decided to quit my job. And then after a few months, the content side started to pick up, and that helped support my monthly expenses. And since I haven't touched any of my trading profits, this essentially means that I have saved over 50% of my income from 2024. This is, again, I would consider it really good, but I will be withdrawing a chunk of my profits very soon, in the next few weeks actually. And I do plan to treat myself a bit, just spend a bit of money, but a lot of that money will go towards investments, which I will talk about later on in this video. So for 2025, my saving goals is basically pretty much the same thing. I think this works really well for me. One thing I do want to do is maybe try and save a bit more of the income that I make from the content side, and then from the trading side, again, I don't plan to touch that money at all. The only reason that I would withdraw money from the account, especially in the second half of the year, so around July of 2025, is to pay for taxes. Yes, trading income is taxable, at least for me. So normally with a normal job, you get a consistent paycheck at the end of every single month. I would say that if you could save 20% of your salary, that would be already amazing. But of course, if you're in a scenario like me, where your income is a bit more inconsistent, that is very hard for us to tell, because how much we can save will really depend on how well we do income-wise. Now, let's move on to the third part of my financial review, and that is spending/debt management. So I don't think I did as well compared to my income and saving side, but I do think, it's still kind of okay. So especially at the start of the year, when all of these things were still new, I was very conscious about my spending. I tried to minimize it as much as I could, because, like I said, I just started out being self-employed, right? So I had savings that would support me for 1.5 years in the case that I made zero income. So I didn't want to blow up my savings too fast. I wanted to make sure that, I could last the entire 1.5 years, just in case it needed that much time. So honestly speaking, as the year went by, as my income started to get a bit better, I did allow a bit of lifestyle inflation to, creep in, which, is still manageable. I do think that making money is important, saving it, investing it, all of those are important, but I do think that you should reward yourself as well, because it just makes the journey a bit more fun and sustainable. So another thing that I did was that I did have a quite major purchase, I guess, from 2024. I decided to buy a house that was 300,000 ringgit, and I did pay a 5% down payment, so that was about 15,000 ringgit. So I have this new expense I need to start budgeting for, and I will set aside a bit of money to at least secure that for the next few years. And then the only other two debt that I have is PTPTN as well as my car loan. So both of these things are ongoing. I didn't do anything crazy with these. I just paid off my monthly amount every single month for 2024. For 2025, I don't plan on making any big purchases that will require a new loan or anything like that. But every time I look on the road and I see a Tesla or a BYD Seal, I do get super tempted. These cars are really so nice, but I'm going to be strong and I'm going to hold off. After all, I do think that buying a car is probably one of the worst ways to spend your money. On my monthly expenses side, I think I will allow a bit more lifestyle inflation to come in. I think, that's fine. I'm just gonna make sure that it doesn't get too crazy. Like I said, I'm also preparing some money to set aside to pay off my mortgage. Right now, it's not that high because the building's not done yet. It's only expected to be complete by 2026, end of the year. So right now, I'm only paying progressive interest, which is not that high. At the end of this year, I also plan on moving out. So at the end of this year, my current lease ends and I plan to look for somewhere else to stay. So that might cost me a bit of money as well. Just gonna start preparing for it. Finally, let's talk about my investments, which were really, really good. When I say really, really good, I meant the performance, because literally everything shot up in 2024. But if we're talking about how much money I invested, that was actually pretty bad. So first up, at the start of the year, because I was just starting out my self-employment journey, I stopped a lot of my recurring investments. So I had a lot of those set up, a few hundred ringgit, a few thousand ringgit every single month. I just stopped all of it because I wanted to focus on getting a positive cash flow first, in case my self-employment journey didn't work out, So I stopped that at the start of the year. Then when things started getting better, my income was a bit more, I want to say stable, but it showed signs of positivity, I guess. At the time, the stock market was already pretty high. Bitcoin, crypto were all making their moves as well. So I decided, stupidly enough, that I was going to wait for a bear market. So again, I didn't invest. So all in all, start of the year, because I wanted to have positive cash flow, and then later in the year, because markets were already high, I just didn't invest that much money. So I only reactivated my monthly auto deposits into Stashaway later in the year, maybe around July or August, once I felt more comfortable. But I did have ASB financing that went on throughout the entirety of the year. So yeah, that is the good thing about ASB financing, I guess. I decided not to terminate it. That was the only investment that I had going on. But yeah, I'm just going to continue it for now. So the conclusion for all of this is my investment returns were really good, but the amount of new money that I invested was not so good. I guess, not investing money at the start of the year because I wanted to focus on having positive cash flow, that is understandable. That does make sense. I would do the same thing over and over again. But not investing because I was waiting for a bear market, that was a stupid decision. So for 2025, I'm planning to seriously up my investing game. Like I said, I plan to withdraw a good chunk of my trading profits within the next few weeks, and a lot of that money will go to both ASB as well as my brokerage accounts. So just to give you guys a sort of sneak peek into my thought process, for my trading account, I still consider that as some sort of investment, like an investment into myself, because I'm using that money, my extra profits, to try and trade and make a higher return than what the market will give me. So withdrawing some of the profits and moving it to ETFs is what I would consider risk management. It's like, taking money away from somewhere that is high risk after I've made some profits and moving it to somewhere where the risk is a bit lower. But yeah, for my brokerage accounts, I do use both Moomoo and Interactive Brokers. I use Interactive Brokers mainly for my long-term investment portfolio. Moomoo is more of trading, I guess. But yeah, if you guys want to sign up for either of these platforms, then check out the links down below. Anyway, I am planning to invest anywhere between 50 to 60,000 ringgit this year into ETFs, hopefully. And I do hope that there is a bear market sometime in 2025, because that would just make things so much easier for me. There's just something mentally challenging about trying to invest that kind of money, which, to me is quite a lot. To invest that kind of money when markets are, so close to all-time highs, when they've been on a bull run for a really long time without any serious pullbacks. So for my Interactive Brokers account, like I said, this is my main long-term investment portfolio. For this year, I'm hoping to get it to an account value of over 100,000 ringgit. I have been very risk off over the last few years, or actually last 18 months, I would say. So yeah, I want to start ramping up the risk again by investing into more ETFs. I might even move some of my money from ASB into this account as well. For my auto investments, I am going to continue it at around 1,000 ringgit a month. I think that is good enough for me for now. 500 ringgit of this will go towards my ASB loan to pay that off, and another 500 ringgit will go towards Stashaway. So that is my complete financial review for 2024. I hope that all of you guys had a good year, as well as an even better 2025. Thanks for watching this video to the end, guys. Give me a huge thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. See you guys in the next one. Peace out.